Welcome first years to Cinematic Academy. For your first lesson, we're going to be talking about the line of coverage. Hey, what's up? My name is Matt Workman and welcome back to my MOCAP studio here. Today I'm going to be recording some performance capture for one of my UE5 projects and a UEFN project. And I'm just trying to kind of document the current workflow. There's a lot of steps. And I wanted to share which HMC I'm using, which I'm going to go get it right now. Right here is the Technoprops helmet. Technoprops, I'm pretty sure, makes their own camera solutions. In this case, they've sent me one that has an iPhone holder, and I use the iPhone 12 mini, which is kind of random because I've heard that this is the best iPhone for doing face capture. I guess the 12 mini, they put like a really good front-facing LiDAR sensor in it, so the depth sensor is like really good in this one. And then after that, they've gotten cheaper and cheaper, which probably makes sense because people didn't need such high-quality ones. But anyway, I just kind of randomly have this one from a while back, and it's the best quality. So that's just going to insert here, and it's business as usual here. But I just wanted to show this helmet, so shout out to Robbie Derry and both Ryans from Epic Games for getting this to me from a while back. And I just got it hooked up. It's pretty lo-fi optical mocap. I just got it set up with the correct optical markers here. So I just have to recalibrate and get this into my Vicon system because it's in the head markers are in a different place than if I just use like the hat or something like that. And there's not a lot to review with it. It has like a back Velcro strap here that's like the main tightener. And inside, what's kind of cool is that each one of these like kind of inner paddings, there's a slim, medium, and large version of it. And you can basically change these pads for all of them to make it fit the different performer's head. So I'm using basically all red in there. So like the squishiest, the thickest, except for the temples. Have that one on the medium. And there's like a whole box of the different ones. And these are really great. You'll see these mostly, if you see this kind of like unique pattern here, there's usually like a double camera on the front, like an up and under one, a depth setup here. But that is for like a much higher end execution. But we're going to hop into the performance capture and just wanted to show this. And the last thing that's part of this actually is that I have this little Sanken lavalier mic. I don't know if we can see it. It's right there. It's perfect. It just clips. I probably broke the little clip, like opening it so much, but it just clamps right onto the little arm here, and it's pointed right back towards my face, and then I just tape the wire, and this goes into my wireless lav in the back. And the audio coming from this, because it's like right here, is like absolutely perfect. We could probably use like a little bit of a windscreen, but it's actually just a little bit offset so that if I like puh really loud and plosive, that it pretty much misses the mic. So it's a really, really nice setup for optical markers. It was really easy to add that on there. And it's a really perfect distance, which I've learned is like pretty important, good distance for the iPhone, and it's adjustable, the distance here. And then really good for mounting the mic. So that is the Technoprops HMC. Hey, you must be the new camera operator. My name's Matt, and today I'm going to be your crate grip. Welcome first years to Cinematic Academy. For your first lesson, we're going to be talking about the line of coverage. So here we are in Unreal Engine 5, and I've assembled the sequence with the audio from the mocap take, the body animation, and the face animation, got it all synced up, and this is what it looks like all put together. So this first exercise, it's pretty simple. I'm going to move the crane. Your job is to keep the actor right in the center of the frame. Sound easy enough? Let's see how you do. So it came out pretty good. I noticed as I've done like a new calibration that the leg is doing something funny. I didn't do any Vicon like post cleanup, so this is pretty much raw, but the leg kind of has like a flipping out moment here. Like right there. And I'm assuming based on the way that this is moving right now is that it's because it couldn't see this marker because I think I'm sitting on a box or something. So I think I have an occlusion problem with my angle, which isn't great. And I didn't use autoskeleton, so my feet aren't quite touching the ground, but this stuff is all very, very easy to clean up later. The overall body motion is as perfect as I need it. And because this is for like an NPC in a game, I'm probably going to end up freezing their lower body anyway. So here we are in UEFN, and I'm flying into our Metahuman, our UEFN Metahuman, and I'm using the Workbrand film crew outfits in UEFN. You definitely want to take their texture resolutions down and drop down how expensive they are resolution-wise and memory-wise, but they do work really well in UEFN, so I've been testing that out quite a bit. And we have some really basic verse going on, but basically each one of these is going to trigger in-game one of the MOCAP sequences. So going back to my browser, if I load up the first sequence here, we'll see it's just like UE5. And we have the audio, we have a cinematic camera. And with the Metahuman, which is pretty interesting, the bottom slot is for the body, and then you'll see a face slot, but there's no body slot like in UE5. That's just this by default. But it's pretty much the same thing here. We have the body and we have the face animation. One thing, however, if you try to bring in animations from UE5, they actually by default use some compression settings that you have to turn off. And thanks to Moisty Media and a couple other developers on Twitter who do UEFN and UE5 together, they helped me fix that. So actually was able to import the animations from UE5 and bring them into UEFN and get them working, which is certainly not for free. There's a bunch of stuff you have to do to get that right. But I'm going to play some footage from the in-game cinematic test here. This is obviously not the actual island. There's going to be some gameplay and some tests and stuff like that in it, but really just getting the Metahuman mocap captured correctly, get all the animations so that they can ship in UEFN. That was the main goal of today. Welcome, first years, to Cinematic Academy. For your first lesson, we're going to be talking about the line of coverage. As you can see, we have two actors that are facing each other, and they're going to have a small dialogue for this scene. To get started, we're going to visualize a line going between each actor. Your first job is to pick a side on this line. With the side chosen now, the rule is to keep all of our cameras on that side of the line. This is going to make sure that the actor's eye line stays consistent throughout the entire scene. Go ahead and pick another camera position for a close-up, but keep it on the same side of the line. That looks great. Go ahead and pick a reverse shot, but keep it on the same side of the line of coverage. Great job. We've created 3 shots. They're all on the same side of the line of coverage, and now our actor's eye line is going to be as straightforward as possible. The line of coverage is just a guideline and a rule that can be broken, but it's a great fundamental to get started. Let's move on to the next lesson. Cool, so that wraps it up for this video. Did a little bit of performance capture using the new Technoprops helmet. Used UE5 to get the face animation loaded in and the Vicon mocap retargeted, and I did a little bit of cleanup here. If we look at the hands, there's still a lot of kind of like expression stuff that could be done, like that finger. Actually, that didn't look too bad, but there was a thumbs up that didn't come out perfect. That stuff is real easy to change, and once the animation's in UEFN here, that is primarily where I'm going to do the final tweaks here. Like if I wanted to do the eye line change or anything like that based on the clothing, it's much easier to just do that here where I know exactly where the camera will be. And I'm able to make those tweaks here and get them into UEFN without having to go back to UE5 or anything like that. So that wraps it up for this one. Let me know if there's anything you want to see or wasn't clear here. I know the workflow is pretty intense. I think I'm getting used to it now, but I'm gonna be doing a lot more mocap for UE5, which I'll show as well, and a lot more for UEFN, which I think is really cool to make like cinematic-based experiences here. Whereas most of my Steam users don't necessarily want this stuff in Cinetracer or maybe even CamOps Simulator. We'll find out. But UEFN, that's where it's going. And I'll see you on the next video.